guys, I haven't done a video in a little while, and I wanted to give you guys an update. I wanted to talk about a few things, and just basically talk to you guys. I know that some of you have checked out the Facebook page, and I appreciate all those likes, and I know that you've seen that I've been adding some links for donations to various diabetes research and whatever organizations. So if you haven't checked out the Facebook page, there'll be a link on this video. Make sure that you go do that. And if you have and you haven't donated yet, make sure that you check those out and go donate if you can. On the home front here with me, everything's doing good. Surgeon's happy, physical therapy's happy. I am still on antibiotics for about another week, so we have that to worry about. But other than that, everything looks great. So I wanted to throw some numbers at you guys, just because the reason that I have been adding these links for donations is because the numbers are so shocking, and I don't know, it's really bothered me. I think we can make a change, and I'd really like to be a part of that change, and with your help, I am sure that we can be. So, I'm getting my statistics from the American Diabetes Association. That's probably the most well-known organization as far as diabetes is concerned. I'm sure that you've heard of it, and if you haven't, you should really Google them and check them out, because they do have a lot of useful information. If you or someone you care about has been diagnosed with diabetes and you're feeling alone, these numbers should definitely reassure you that you're not alone, and know that I'm always an outsource, and I'm always welcoming messages and questions and anything that I can do to help, or just be there. So guys, I'm not going to throw a bunch of numbers at you and then just ramble them off and not explain them, but I am going to try to make this pretty quick. These are from 2015, which yes, is 3 years ago, but I am positive that those numbers have not went down. So here we go. In 2015, over 30 million Americans had diabetes. Over 7 million of those 30 million had no idea they even had it. So we're talking about almost 10% of the population, with a big chunk of that 10% not even having a clue that they had diabetes, and therefore not doing anything to take care of it. That's a huge problem. It's shocking, guys. 1.5 million Americans will be diagnosed with diabetes this year, and next year, and the year after that, if not more. On an average, 1.5 million will be diagnosed. And if you're going to say that 1.5 million will be diagnosed, then it's safe to say that at least 500,000 will have it without being diagnosed. Now also, in 2015, diabetes was considered the 7th top leading cause of death in the United States. And I'm saying that was the first thing on the death certificate. And that was almost 80,000 deaths that were associated with diabetes being the leading cause. That being said, 252,000 deaths had diabetes listed as an underlying cause. I haven't went a whole lot into it, guys, but diabetes causes kidney failure, eye problems, nerve damage, heart damage, basically attacks every organ in your body. I mean, there's no safe organ, really. The nerve damage can do a lot. It can cause amputations, and kidneys can shut down, and things of that matter. So 250,000 people died with diabetes being listed as an underlying cause. So in that same year, young people under 20, approximately a quarter of the population were diagnosed with diabetes. Those numbers break down to almost 18,000 with type 1 and 5,300 with type 2 in 2011 to 2012. And those numbers don't get better, and the reason those numbers don't get better is because I can go get in my car right now, and we can go to Wendy's, and I can buy a large fry. I'm going to pay probably about $3.50 for a large fry. If I decide to order one of their nice big salads, which are not healthy either, because there's all kinds of crap in there that you shouldn't have too, it's going to cost me $7. Twice the price of the large fry. So I get 2 large fries, or I could get 1 big salad. I mean, that itself tells you guys what the main problem is, and it's mainly financial. And I don't know what the answer is to change that, because I'm sure that there is no answer to change that. So, as far as the United States goes and the cost of diabetes, in 2017, the total cost of diagnosed, these are diagnosed people, diabetics, it was $327 billion. $327 billion. $237 billion to direct medical cost. Now, that might sound like a bunch of just numbers. So, the direct medical cost would be like something that you directly paid to, like your copays and your prescriptions and things like that. The $327 billion would include what your insurances have paid and things of that nature. So, basically $300 billion for the year was spent on diabetes related medical expenses. A diabetic's medical costs are going to be double of a normal person, if not more, just because of all the complications that come with the disease and things like that. Now, I don't know where you guys are from. I don't know if I've reached out to anybody outside of West Virginia, but I'm going to read statistics from West Virginia and West Virginia only for the sake of the video. I'll put the link in the description, and if you guys are from a different state and you want to check out what the statistics are in your state, feel free to do so. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the ADA, make sure you check them out. They're diabetes.org, and they have a lot of good information on there as well. So West Virginia, almost 16% of the adult population here has diabetes, which equals out to be about 260,000 people. Almost 50,000 of that 260 have no idea. They have no idea they have it. So that puts them at a higher risk, because if you're diabetic and you don't know it, then you're not getting your insulin, and so your body's running on this high sugar all the time, and it leads to stroke or heart disease or kidney disease, amputations, anything. I mean, it's just not good on. You can go blind. It can kill you. So it's not good when you don't know. It's not great when you do know, but it's better to know than not to know, is one point there. Every year, 12,000 people in West Virginia get diagnosed with diabetes. And it's probably safe to say probably 4,000 or 5,000 don't know. They don't get diagnosed. Like I was telling you guys, diabetes is very expensive. Like an average diabetic is guaranteed twice the cost, if not more, of a normal person's medical costs. Insulin can cost very easily several $100s a month, and without insulin we die. Your lancets and your testing strips and your meters and what have you, those can tend to be on the expensive side as well. If you do have an insulin pump, then you're having to change those sites every so often, so that becomes expensive also. It's a big expense. In West Virginia alone, there was estimated to be $1.7 billion spent in direct medical expenses. And that's just, I believe that that's probably accurate. Like I said, my insulin, easily a couple $100s a month. And it's scary. It's scary thinking that maybe you won't be able to afford it. Because it's not like I want my next high. I actually want to stay low. So we're the only drug addicts that take a drug to avoid getting high. I know, guys, cheesy joke. So there have been many organizations that have donated directly to West Virginia, the CDC and the National Institute of Diabetes and those sort of things, and they have donated like $1.2 million to West Virginia in 2017. But again, it's $2.3 billion a year, so 1.1 million doesn't quite hatch any of it away. So that's the problem. And any research we can do and fund is always great, because there's no cure, guys. There's not. When I spoke with the infectious disease doctor in Morgantown, he compared my osteomyelitis, which is a bone infection, which is more susceptible to diabetics, as being cancer. Reason being is they can cut it out and it may never come back again, or it can come back over and over and over and over. Diabetes and all its complications, I would pretty much compare to cancer as well, just because we can go a long time with the same insulin, and that insulin works great and everything's good, and A1Cs are great, and then all of a sudden you have this high spike and you don't really know why, and you don't understand what's going on, and you're back at square one. So guys, hope I didn't overwhelm anybody with all these numbers, and I'm sorry. I promise the next video I won't do that, but I'm going to leave you guys with that. Love you guys. Thank you for listening. Click the links in the description. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, always I'm available. Bye guys.